final of Players' Championship 7. We have the world number 5, the reigning Players' Champion, the man who won the big tournament at the end of these series of Players' Championship events at the back end of last year, Daryl Gurney, Northern Ireland's number 1. And we also have the world number 11, Dave Chisnall, a 5-time major finalist, a 13-time winner of PDC ranked events, and most recently he picked up one of these this year. So looking for a second title of the year. Chizzy and Super Chin battling it out for £10,000. I'm Dan Dawson, and alongside me for the final is Chris Murphy.
Yeah, when this pair are on song, 180s are the order of the day, and each of them has hit 19 on their run to today's decider.
140.
Chisnall looking to return to form and return perhaps to the top table in World Darts, having had a winless year last year in terms of tournaments, although he did have a couple of injury problems throughout 2018. Picked up his 14th title in that one that you mentioned on the PDC. All of his titles have come away from the telly, of course. Daryl Gurney, the kind of the opposite
91
of Dave Chisnall. He won one event on the floor and then picked up 2 on the telly.
Yeah, if you are looking
58.
for omens, when Dave Chisnall did pick up his title earlier this year. Was it his 14th? I thought it was his 13th. I lose track.
Sorry, today would be his 14th.
Today, oh, I see, yes, sorry.
Giving it him now.
Oh, there we go. He beat Rob Cross along the way. Although, when Daryl Gurney picked up his only
57.
other PDC floor title, he beat Gerwyn Price along the way. So, omens, schmomens.
Who would you rather be, Dan? Dave Chisnall or Daryl Gurney in terms of success? Not just in life in general, a day in the life of Dave Chisnall.
That's a very good question.
Because Chizzy has picked up 13 titles and he's earned under £150,000 from those wins. Of course, he's got more money than that from his other performances. But Gurney in 3 titles has trousered over 200 grand.
45.
What I would say, though, is I believe that Gurney has more major titles in him, and I do believe that Dave Chisnall has major titles in him.
174.
Let's talk at the end of their careers.
Well, superb setup from Chisnall, but that's a superb guide for Gurney.
Game shot.
And he uses it perfectly well to take the first leg.
I'll tell you who will be feeling probably... I mean, Dave Chisnall will be on top of the world right now. He's already won 1 title this year, back in the winning habit
45.
after that. The only year last year where he didn't win a title or make a major final in the PDC. It's the only time he's done it. So he's back winning and playing well. And we've seen a couple of big averages from Dave.
60.
108 against Rob Cross, 109 against Mark McGeaney in the semis. He's flying. But Daryl Gurney, he's been having a tougher time of it of late. He hadn't won more than 2 games in a row in any event this year. Premier League, Masters, any of the Pro Tour events, nothing. He's not done a great deal since he became Players' Champion. And yet today, things are starting to click into gear. And even though we haven't seen him go and average any sort of 105s, 107s, which is the sort of stuff he was doing when he won his first title a couple of years back, his ability to win games with high 90s averages, that's been eluding him. So I think, out of today, Daryl Gurney has got some huge, huge positives to take, irrespective of what happens in this final.
Yeah, well, many would have
59.
imagined that Gerwyn Price would have been the man that Chisnall faced in the final when the semi-final lineup was revealed, but Gurney demolished the Iceman. 7-2.
180.
That's maximum number 20 for Chisnall.
One right back at him. One right back at him.
123.
25 for double 18. Or 21 for double top.
41.
Didn't miss a single dart at double in his semi-final win against Mark McGeaney, and he was going the 25 for double 18 route then. The mind boggles.
Oh, look at this. Double 10.
140.
Very nearly super stuff from Super Chin.
Same target. So far, the same outcome. Now needing double 5.
15.
Couldn't miss a double in the semi. Can't hit one in the final.
He's used them all up. He's got none left. Chizzy's big bag of hit doubles is empty.
Game shot.
He seemed to call that before it even landed.
When you know, you know. But the doubles deserting Dave Chisnall and Daryl Gurney, taking full advantage.
I was interested just looking at the head-to-head stats just before this game got going. We don't have a great deal of time in between these matches
85.
to have a pour through the stats. But Gurney does shade this in their head-to-heads. He's won 7 of their 12 previous
84.
meetings. He did lose in the Masters. You might remember that earlier on this year in a tight game. Lost 10-8. I think it was another Dave Chisnall comeback, was it not?
125.
Seemed to specialise in those, Chizzy. But he had won the 3 prior to that. All close games, but he had won them.
180.
The doubles might not be going for Dave Chisnall, but he has had a 3 big treble visit in every single leg so far in this final, and that
100.
is going to put Daryl Gurney under pressure.
$140.
Well, he's going to get, or he'll hope to get, more darts at double.
59.
But he's earned himself 2 at tops. Once again, can't find it with either of the darts. He's
77.
kind of like that old footballer, isn't he? That at least he's there to miss them.
Oh, what a guide that is if you can find the 57. He can. Surely. Surely. Chizzy. Oh, you could
99.
see. He's evidently caught a bit of the flight and it's skewed down. Chizzy, I think, was resigning himself to 3-0 there.
Well, Gurney needn't worry because the doubles are dry for Dave
Game
Chisnall.
shot.
But eventually he finds one. And now, once he's hit, he might not be able to stop Daryl.
Yeah, the bag has been replenished. Chizzy's big bag of doubles. If they're
85.
going, you've got a problem because I assure you, Chizzy's big bag of big scores is bottomless. He will hit them all day long.
85.
It doesn't actually surprise me, the thought of Dave Chisnall walking around with a bottomless bag of anything.
No.
But that would mean there'd be nothing in it, Dan.
137.
That's a very philosophical point, and one that I intend to debate further and at length with the Professor Dave Chisnall.
120.
Well, that is, I think that's the 4th time in the match that Daryl Gurney's tried to hit his 20th 180 of the tournament after finding the first 2, and he's
59.
found different ways to miss it. Can't really blame him for that one.
This will be it. This is it. There you see, and a bit of a snarl from Super Chin.
Back at you. Perfectly timed as well.
And a perfect setup to leave tops. 57 required. Not hit by Super Chin, and we could well have a level
57.
game here. Chizzy. Once more, delve into your bag. What have you got for us, Chiz?
Game shot.
Yes, 2-2.
Well, Dave Chisnall, despite trailing this match by a couple of legs, could be 4-0 up in it.
Yeah, didn't.
He's going to win a big one. If you ask who the next new major winner will be, it'll be the most common answer. So the likes of Nathan Aspinall and others do the job, as Gurney looks to do a job by completing 110 for a 3-2 lead.
78.
It is his favourite double, but he was a long way off it there. Chizzy will not take the 145. And 3 clear darts in his hand looking at double
78.
16. Daryl Gurney on a day like today, you just feel that this is 3-2.
Game shot.
And he's very animated about it all, isn't he?
Well, I don't mind it in the final. It's not doing anyone else any harm, is it?
Fine him. Fine them all.
140.
Yeah, Chisnall himself
55.
was looking in good shape at the UK Open, wasn't he? Talking about that elusive major. Then he was pipped at the post by the mirror man, Simon Stevenson, in the last 16, was it?
Yes,
100.
It was.
Last leg decider. That's kind of classic Chisnall, isn't it? Can be looking like this could be his tournament, and all of a sudden
100.
just seems to fall at a hurdle that he perhaps shouldn't.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Chizzy. He's been in 5 major
131.
finals, which is more than most players ever reach in their careers. And every time he's run into one of the best players in the world.
96.
He has not had one of those opportunities where all the big names have gone out. He's had opportunities where all the big names have gone out. He hasn't taken them, but he's never found himself in a final
94.
with perhaps a surprise finalist.
Yeah, and as for Daryl Gurney, well, he's been in 2 and won them both. Simon Whitlock, and he did beat Michael van Gerwen, of course, in Minehead at the Players' Championship
100.
finals last year, so he can't be accused of not beating the best to be the best.
Game shot.
Yeah. Good marker with the first dart. Didn't find the target with the second, but the third, unerring. 3 apiece in this one. Difficult to separate these two. Just in case you're interested, Phil Taylor, Michael van Gerwen and Martin Adams are the players
96.
that Chizzy's come up against in major finals. You don't get much harder than that.
$100. $80. $100.
Both players, of course, will be in action when the European Tour returns, the European Darts Open, from Friday in Leverkusen.
134.
Both seeded. Chisnall, a former winner on the European Tour.
$174.
He's got a little bit fortunate there, Chisnall, in that the 174 leaves a potential 127 in game shot, but if he hadn't hit the treble
140.
with that last dart in the 19, he'd be on a bogey number.
Got to back yourself, Dan.
$66 scored, yes.
Well, this time it was a miss rather than a miscount for Dave Chisnall and Gurney.
73.
I feel certain we'll look at 19 for double 16.
Every time for Super Chin.
Game shot.
Well, he does pin it, and it's another enthusiastic celebration of it. Chisnall has not led at any point in
96.
this game. But it is first to 8, remember. There is still time for this to turn around.
Have I heard
45.
Daryl Gurney roaring at the end of legs and just then chuntering away at himself in disappointment, but one player who that will not faze is this
180.
man, Dave Chisnall. Doesn't care what is going on around him.
No, Chizzy plays his darts and indeed lives his life in a permanent state of zen.
120.
Another indication of how Gurney is finding new and interesting ways to miss out on maximums.
55.
Yeah, just after Chisnall had taken his daily tally up to 24. And now he's left himself the big fish, but shouldn't need to bother going for it.
96.
Well, he hit single 15 to leave it.
98.
Played it safe and decided against going for it with the first dart. Gurney led 2-0 as Chisnall was missing darts at double left, right and centre. Chisnall hit back, and since then
180.
just a leg between them. That 180 though might change the course of the match, but only if Chisnall misses again. Double 9, and he has
54.
missed, and that 180 could see Daryl Gurney open up daylight for the second time in the tie, but at a more crucial time.
These can be tricky, particularly with that long dart that Daryl Gurney throws, and he does clatter into his first one. But
Game
double
shot.
10 is a nice open bed, and he does pin it. And Daryl Gurney takes a potentially decisive 2-leg lead. 2 clear, 3 away from victory, and his 4th PDC title.
It's an interesting attempt that as well for Daryl
131.
Gurney. I think that he threw that first dart high, hoping it might just sneak into double top to leave himself double 10 anyway. He's a man who on 74, despite his preference for
180.
double 16, will go 54 to leave double 10, so he doesn't leave a blocker.
Yeah, that wanting 60 with multiple darts affects
85.
Daryl Gurney more than other players. He throws a very long dart. His darts do stand up quite a lot. He will block a lot of the bed. Cheers.
140.
5 perfect darts. How far into the 9 have you gone today on your board?
Me personally, I
Well,
haven't
not
been down
you,
there.
obviously.
I don't think we've been anywhere near it. I think we've been 6 once.
180.
But what point Dave Chisnall has just illustrated is the one we were making, which is nothing phases him, because just as Gurney had taken a
137.
crucial lead seemingly, Chisnall has fired in 9 darts and left himself on 44.
57.
And done so under pressure as well, with Gurney breathing down his neck. But can he get the job done? He can. Superb stuff. Last dart into double top and hits straight back Dave Chisnall. 102 average for Chizzy right now. And it's your throw, Dave. I'm not sure he realised he'd broken there. Either that or he just wanted to let Chizzy know. Let Gurney know. But I don't think Chizzy thinks in those tactical ways, does he?
Playing to the crowd.
39.
Well, the 39 opening salvo certainly wasn't the tactic that Dave Chisnall was hoping to employ,
43.
but it's worked in putting Daryl Gurney off his game.
$100. $100.
Well, Dave Chisnall, such as his monstrous ability to win titles, he won
140.
5 events back in 2012. Now that's an astonishing tally. If he can turn this around and make it 2 wins, in the middle of March,
100.
anything is possible for Chizzy this year. 13 Euro Tour events to come. This the 7th Players' Championship of 30. And he's fit, he's confident. Doesn't seem to have any of those
58.
injury problems that were plaguing him last year. Whenever you talk to him, he sounds so positive about his game, which is stark contrast to how he was at times last year. This could be an enormous year for Dave Chisnall.
100.
Yeah, that ended an 18-month title drought, didn't it, for Chisnall? When he beat Glenn Durrant last month, having not picked up a title since his win against Richard North in August 2017.
45.
Well, that doesn't help him out at all. Leaves 119. Another one in there. It's a bit low in the bed. Can he nestle alongside? He can, to leave double 19. Chizzy looks away.
120.
I'm not sure we need the dartboard at times. You can just look at Dave Chisnall's expression to see what his opponent is throwing in these Pro Tour matches. But 119 for Chisnall, so he'll be going down the board. 12 or treble. And he finds the ball with the last dart. Dave Chisnall dug a hole and climbed out of it. 5 all.
I love darts. Me. 5 all. And he's... Well, I thought he was having a sort of celebratory lap around Daryl Gurney then.
Is Gurney happy, or was that friendly, or as Daryl Gurney just had a bit of a go at Dave Chisnall, and Dave
100.
Chisnall has not even realised. But you're never quite sure of Daryl Gurney either, because he does have this kind of demure demeanour when he's playing darts, and you can't quite tell that if he's actually angry or not.
Well, on Thursday night, after getting that draw against Peter Wright, he said afterwards, the nice Daryl Gurney is
140.
rubbish Daryl Gurney. I need to get back to being nasty Daryl Gurney. I need to be hating all my opponents. I'm looking to smash them with every single dart. Now, it takes an
60.
extraordinary effort of will to hate Dave Chisnall in any circumstance. But there's no friends on the hockey.
131.
Or in the commentary box.
Yeah, some people are easier to hate than others.
Anyway, Gurney
81.
playing no more Mr. Nice Guy is down to 130 and has the chance to lead again. 54. 16.
122.
Well, he's left himself 8. And all Dave Chisnall can do in this leg at least is hit and hope.
No, I don't want to overplay that whatever that little thing was. It might not have been bad-tempered.
140.
But Daryl Gurney's threatened to fire in a magnificent 12-dart leg off the back of it. Maybe nasty Daryl Gurney is much better than nice Daryl Gurney, because a 13-dart is good enough to resume the lead.
$82.
I'm not sure if anything did make him angry other than himself, but it's working.
$58.
And you do get this, don't you, with darts players, sportsmen, in any sport, that they have a completely different attitude during battle.
140.
Dave Chisnall is not one of those people. He's the same on the hockey as he is off it. But some players do have to kind of become a character, become a beast.
100.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And
Well, speaking of Wright, look at the difference between Peter Wright, the man, and Snakebite on the stage.
85.
yeah, one of many you could name.
Peter Wright was beaten in round 1
100.
this afternoon, the number 3 seed. The number 1 seed, Ian White, was also beaten at that stage.
Michael Smith, a first-round loser as well today. Some big names did go out, but we've got
162.
the world number 5 and the world number 11 making it through to the final, and that is a great setup shot from Dave Chisnall, and it looks like it's going to be 6-all.
140.
162 to leave 32.
Game shot.
And no problem at all for Dave Chisnall.
$101 average for Chizzy, 97 average for Daryl Gurney. It's two of the best players in the world putting on a very competitive game of darts in this final, battling it out for £10,000.
51.
Gurney kind of did this against Peter Wright in that on his own throw,
55.
by and large, he was very, very strong. And even though there were some legs where Wright was obliterating him and he had a higher average than Daryl Gurney in the Premier League on Thursday night,
180.
it didn't matter because by the end of the match, it was 6 apiece. He did survive a match start, Daryl Gurney. But on his throw, he's doing the business by and large, just making sure he gets his numbers right here. Should be looking at the 18s. Yeah, it does do. Very, very important dart.
32.
How low can Chisnall go? Well, not low enough now.
40.
That dart was quite low. Just eases the pressure on Gurney. So he can hit a single 14
94.
to leave double top, and he'll be very happy about that situation, assuming, of course, that he can pin that double top and go within a leg of just his second floor title in PDC darts. This is the
60.
former Grand Prix champion and the reigning Players' Championship Finals winner.
It's Daryl Gurney's 10th PDC final, this. Winning 3 of the previous 9. Now, if he doesn't find this, Chisnall has an outside chance.
30.
Well, Chizzy watched Glenn Durrant hit a 170 against him in a final, didn't he? And it nearly changed the course. This really would change the course of the final.
What does Gurney do here? Does he opt to split?
90.
Doesn't want to be scared of this double, but also doesn't want to go inside. He's thinking.
Does he even know? He's looking up. And that's exactly what he was afraid of.
6.
And it's down to Chizzy to punish him. Was it a poor decision?
Well, this would be the first time that Dave Chisnall has hit the front in this final. Needs to salvage a situation by finding treble 19, and he can't do it.
40.
Gurney off the hook.
Double 2. Been high quality, been high tension. But double 1 might be the key moment in this final.
2.
And that is 8 darts missed for a 7-6 lead for Daryl Gurney.
Darting drama here on the Pro Tour in Wigan. Chisnall couldn't look. Now Daryl Gurney made to suffer the pain of hoping his opponent misses.
Game
But
shot.
Dave Chisnall does not and leads for the first time. And that lead in leg 13 means he will throw for the match.
Nod of the head from Daryl Gurney. He knows what is required of him. He managed to come from behind and steal a draw against Peter Wright in the Premier League on Thursday night. It was a gritty and determined effort.
We have to do something akin, but he'll also have to hope
39.
that Dave Chisnall doesn't produce the goods here, and that does not help at all. Robbed by the Robin Hood.
90.
There are times when that happens and you feel that's okay. This is not one of them. But it's a great response to it.
108.
Oh, fabulous response.
Full credit to Daryl Gurney. But Chisnall's hitting back and hitting
180.
hard. A dozen maximums in this final. But has Dave
60.
Chisnall peaked at the perfect point? Double top. Double 10.
77.
Can't find it. It was revealed, but Gurney demolished.
100.
The ice
Was
Gurney
that?
thinks it's Chisnall. Maximum number 20 for Chisnall. Takes a breath and once again looks for double 10. And now double 5
Game
to
shot
double
and a half.
his title tally for 2019. Gurney looked like he had the final in his grasp for most of it, but Dave Chisnall hit the front in the penultimate leg and runs out an 8-6 winner, picking up a 14th PDC title, his second of the year.